Heidi here from Rain Country Homestead. God is good all the time. Well, some of you may notice I've got a slightly different camera angle today because I want to make sure I get my beautiful new cutting board that was gifted to me that says Rain Country Homestead, because that's the name of this channel. So if you see me on videos that have been uploaded to another channel by any other name, they have been stolen. So just make sure you come back to Rain Country Homestead. Today, I'm going to make kimchi my way. I used to make kimchi the more traditional way with the salt brine and then the fermenting it for 2 weeks-ish. You know, it always depends. It's, 10 days to 2 weeks. But this method that I came up with on my own takes only 3 days to get a nice bubbly kimchi. Now, some of you may not know what kimchi is. It is a Korean staple for the most part. It's similar to sauerkraut in the fact that it's typically made with cabbage, but it has other vegetables and it's very spicy. So, and it can be made with all kinds of different vegetables, from rutabaga to cucumbers. I typically try to use a cabbage. When cabbage is used, it's usually going to be like bok choy and or Napa cabbage, which is the way I would normally make it. However, I currently don't have any fresh bok choy or anything growing in my garden like that. And our local store carries just a good regular cabbage in organic. They don't have the Napa and the bok choy in organic, but they do have this. And I don't mind it. I like it just as much, if not better, with the regular cabbage. So I'm going to be chopping up some of my fermented garlic. It's already fermented. And some fresh ginger and an organic carrot. I don't peel my carrots. I just wash them really good. When it comes to certain vegetables, I prefer not to peel them because I think it's better for you to get the whole vegetable. Some green onion. Red pepper flakes, which, duh, right? I put that in everything. Cayenne pepper. And then I'm going to go ahead and add more garlic in the form of a granulated garlic. And the most important thing to get this fermenting and have a good bubbly kimchi within 3 days rather than 2 weeks is my fermentation starter. And this one I made with my blackberries. And you can find a video on how to make your own fermentation starter. It's a very easy, it's very cheap, and you can have this, you can even make bread with this. All right, you can find that video right up here. It's one of my very first videos I had put up this last summer. So I'm going to get to chopping. All right, so I have all my vegetables chopped up. And one thing I forgot to mention is that I will be using some salt in this because I'm not using a salt brine. Now, if you're doing it the traditional way with the salt brine, you're not going to add salt to it because it'll be way too salty. So, first thing I'm going to do, you see I haven't added the spices yet. Normally, anymore, I don't even mix it in a bowl like this. I just layer it in the jars. But I decided to just mix it up in a bowl first this time. And another thing you're going to want to, if you do it this method, without doing the salt brine to pull out all the, a lot of the moisture out of the cabbage, then you're going to want to pack it in there nice and tight. Actually, I just realized the other thing I forgot is I usually add the spices. I get the jars halfway full and then put the spices in. So let me, and I forgot about that. The thing is, it's not that big a deal because you're going to be shaking it up anyway. Okay, so next, what I've got here is my fermentation starter. Don't forget to go check that video out because if you're going to use this method, you're going to need this fermentation starter. And this one, you can make it from pretty much any fruit or ginger, especially the skins of the ginger. So that ginger I peeled, I could save the skins from that and use that to make another fermentation starter. So I'm putting in, see, this is a shot glass. I don't like to use metal when I'm using this because I don't want to kill the good bacteria in there. So I don't know if you could hear that when I opened it and started moving around. It was very bubbly. That's how you want it. So I put in per quart jar at least a 1/4 cup. That's what your shot glass is typically it's a 1/4 cup. But sometimes for good measure, I like to throw in just a little bit more, and I don't care if I get little pieces of the blackberry in there. I've made this with blueberry. I've made it with grapes, raisins, any fruit that you've got growing. You can do it with peaches. You're going to get the best results with your berries and your grapes, but and raisins because they have the most amount of yeast on them. But so do peaches. You can do this with peaches, and then ginger has a lot of yeast. So now that I've got that in there like that, the next thing I want to do is top the rest of this off with filtered water. You do not want to use city tap water that's loaded with chlorine and fluoride because those will kill the active cultures in there, and you don't want that to happen. So you need a good filtered water, whether it be a filtered rainwater, well water, spring water, even if it's a water you have to buy at the store. You just want to make sure it doesn't have that stuff in it. So let me get my water. It's going to take a little bit because it's got to bubble down in there. And work all around all those vegetables. And you can let it sit for a minute and then come back to it, or even take a chopstick and kind of stir it around. I'm just going to use my fingers and push down on it, kind of push some of those air pockets out of there. I'm going to go ahead and add some more water to it, just a little bit more to each. Now I'm just going to put on some, always recycle those lids, people. Don't throw them away after you can with them. First I'm going to put the lids on tight. I'm going to tighten the bands down because I want to shake it up really good. I want to get all that stuff mixed around in there. All those good spices and everything. It almost looks like I could put more red pepper in there. Oh, we'll see. Sometimes I think I'm not putting in enough and then I go to eat it and it's pretty spicy. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do, final step, at least as far as this part goes, is you're going to want to lay down a towel wherever you're going to set this. I'm just going to ferment this right here on my counter. I'm not going to put it on top of my fridge because this, even though it's chilly in here, this works quickly. And you're going to loosen those bands a little bit because you want some of those gases to be able to escape. And then tomorrow I'll come back and I'll shake this up again. And probably again the next day. We'll see. In the summertime, usually in a day, this is bubbly. I'm thinking this will take up to, well, it might take the whole 3 days before it's good and bubbly because it's pretty chilly in here right now. So, you just let that set and you'll know when it's ready because it'll be bubbling and it will be starting to come over the sides. And I tell you, this is some good stuff right here. You can do this use this method, and if you look right up here, you'll find the video I did on lacto-fermented pickles using this very same method. And it's my favorite way to eat cucumbers or pickles is that way. So it's much healthier for you too. And so anyway, I'll keep checking on this, and it's really as easy as that. Use whatever vegetables and spices you want in there. Again, if you watch my other videos, you'll see me mention that you can do this with any fruit you want. Just if you want to just have a good, yummy fermented fruit. You could do this with beets. Beets are really good like this. And eat them raw. Once they're fermented, then eat them raw and drink all the liquid that's in there because that's your kvass. And it is so good for you, very detoxifying to the body, and just super, super healthy. All right, so that's it for this video. I'll probably come back and do an update in a few days when this is ready. So watch for that video to come out. And thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.